Thank you. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on which time zone you're in. Thank you very much for joining today's session of My Journey program. I'm Andy Taylor. I'm the Vice President of Product, and I'm lucky enough to lead our product management, products strategy and insights teams across ACT. And our job is to really be the stewards of our products and make them available. That's not just the ACT itself, but it's also a whole wealth of other products that we offer in conjunction with states and school districts, as well as the test prep products I'm going to talk to you about today. And product doesn't necessarily mean that we charge for it. Many of these experiences are offered free of charge and are really part of the ecosystem that we encourage students and their champions to be well aware of, so they can prepare themselves not for the ACT test itself, but for the journey it represents. So whether those tools are things like our interest inventory, which helps you identify the best major and the best college for you, for your four-year college journey, or whether it's things such as the scholarship finder through the Encourage tool or other things that we offer that really identify it for you. Today, we're going to concentrate on test preparation. So what are we going to look at today? So first of all, what do we mean by test prep? Secondly, what is available from ACT for free? What else is out there? And how do I access more information? First of all, let me say there is a wealth of information on our website that I would absolutely point you to. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's on there today, but there's a lot more reading to be had and a lot more information to be had. I'm going to start with just a couple of quick slides about the ACT itself. I'm sure this is old hat and you've heard it before, but I always think it's important to remind us all of what we're actually talking about when we say the ACT. So first of all, a quick reminder about us. ACT has been around for 63 years in Iowa City, in Iowa, and serving really the whole country. And we serve all 50 states, plus DC, Puerto Rico, and Guam, as well as over 80 countries around the world where students are taking the ACT. We are mission driven. We create products that generally help our customers succeed, be they that the test takers and the learners, or the educators, administrators, and others and champions that support those students. We're not for profit. We reinvest everything that we make into research and programs and services to support our mission. I'm going to talk about the fee waiver program in a couple of minutes, and we're very, very proud of that. And next, everything we say is research-based. We have a research team that is over 60 PhDs between them in key areas of educational research. Everything we say is backed by research, and we make all of that research available. Again, there's a wealth of information available on our website. I'm not a PhD researcher, so I haven't read all hundreds of the articles on there, but I can say that everything is research backed and backed with data science. Again, just to remind everybody what the ACT test is, usually taken by high school juniors and seniors, contains 4 sections: English, math, reading, and science. And there is a 5th section called the ACT writing test, which is optional and doesn't actually impact the composite score, but is scored separately. Still used in a number of institutions as a key indicator of writing ability. For example, the service academies use it to understand what the writing ability is of the student. The ACT test is offered nationally and in 22 states, as well as over 2,000 districts. There's also an opportunity to take it during the school day, Monday to Friday, be it in the fall or the spring. And we call that our state and district model. Students take the ACT receive personalized college and career decision-making information to assist in establishing college performance baselines. It's an important part of it. It's not just a test score, it's the information that goes around it. The ACT includes a profile and education career planning section designed to explore students' interests, courses they've already taken, and their preferences to help them plan for life after high school. It's about not only desire, but also aptitude and how well you're going to be fitted to your future plans. And that's an important part of the journey that we have. As a reminder, the 5 sections and how they're made up. English is 45 minutes and 75 items. Mathematics, 60 items and 60 minutes. An item is a question. Reading, 35 minutes, and then 40 items and some reading to be done there, some passages of reading. And then science, 35 minutes and 40 items. And finally, the optional fifth component, the writing, is a single, what we call a prompt. And then that prompt enables you to write an essay or a piece of writing along what we're going into. Finally, before we get into the meat of this presentation, a very quick word on fee waivers. I'm exceptionally proud of us as an organisation that last year, and by year I mean academic year, so between September 2021 and July 2022, 24% of the 1.3 million students that took the national ACT did so through the fee waiver programme. This is available to all qualifying students. More information can be found from your high school counsellor or on our website. Simply put in ACT fee waivers. And that gives you access to up to 4 free tests and all of the tools that surround that. Additionally, for the last 2 years, we've also been giving all fee waiver students free access to one of our Powered by Kaplan products, which we'll talk about later, which is the tutoring program. And that's available for all students that get a fee waiver, free of access and free of charge. From December, we're also giving all fee waiver students that enter during a TIR window and test information release, and I'll talk about that later, we'll be giving them free access to that tool as well. So that's our fee waiver program, and really that's enabled from us being a not-for-profit mission-driven organisation. Finally, just the dates, and if you are looking to test in October, next Friday is the late registration deadline, but lots more opportunities in December, February, April, June and July, as well as next year through those programs. And again, if you live in one of the states or one of the school districts that offers one of those experiences, there will be other opportunities both in spring and fall if you happen to live in one of those school districts. So let's talk about test prep. What do we mean when we say test prep? And what does that really mean? Well, there's really 3 kinds of test preparation. The first, and we cannot say this hard enough, test preparation, first and foremost, is learning your subject, really understanding the curricula that is underpins and supports what the ACT is testing. We are testing against specific knowledge. We have, again, a whole wealth of what we call test blueprints. This is specifically the knowledge that underpins what the test is. So the question is, how do we decide what goes on a test? How do we decide what goes into that test blueprint? Well, every few years, we go in and we do a huge survey. That survey is with high school and first 2 years colleges to understand what they are testing, what they are teaching, and what is important for the skills to have in English, math, reading, science and writing for those high schoolers or undergraduate students. We then take that and design our test to test those skills that are required in those 4 key areas. A little bit best place, and I'm going to mention this a number of times, but the best place to find out the specifics of what they are is a wonderful document that we make free of available to all, free of charge, called Preparing for the ACT Test. If you go into any Google or whichever your search engine of choice is and type in 2023 Preparing for the ACT Test, that will send you to a document which is 70 pages in length. And we're going to talk about a number of times today, but that includes the full detail of exactly what you need to be skilled in to be able to succeed at the ACT. Next, when we talk about test preparation, we talk about general tips for good test preparation. And I think intrinsically and deep down, we know many of these ourselves. Get familiar with the content. Update your knowledge and skills in the content area. Study, which we talked about already. Next, pace yourself. Always be ready. These are multiple choice questions. We've talked about how many questions you have to get through. If you're not sure, move on. And there's always an opportunity to come back at the end if you have some time. Read the directions carefully. It cannot say this more importantly. Do what the paper is asking you to do. Read the question. Be very careful when you're reading the question. Answer the easiest questions first. If you're not sure, move on and find ones that you can answer. Make an attempt to answer every question. Use logic on some of those more difficult questions. So when you're returning to one of the more difficult questions, try to use logic to eliminate some of the answers. That is better than not answering at all. Be precise in choosing your responses. Using your pencil, and the national test right now is all paper and pencil. We are going to be offering it digitally, as we do on the school day experience and internationally, and have done for a number of years, starting next academic year. But when we're using pencil, you make sure that you're really filling it in correctly. And if you do change your answer, use that eraser permanently. So erase completely. That, I think we all know some of those things. We also need to be aware of what not to bring to the test room, what we can bring to the test room, what's considered misadministration. And that means you can't bring in a mobile phone. If an alarm goes off and you had a mobile phone on you, that will be a misadministration. Again, we make all of that available to you, your school guidance counselors and the other staff on the day and before the day can help you understand what each of those things. Understanding whether the calculator you have is allowed or not. Again, we have a list of available calculators and allowed calculators. Understanding what you can bring in, what you can't bring in. You can't bring in textbooks, for example. Some exams allow you to do that, not the ACT. You can't bring in highlighters or colored pens or pencils, just a standard pencil. You can't bring in any electronic devices apart from that allowed calculator, and any reading material is not allowed. Do not bring your own scratch paper. We will provide you that in the test site. So again, we make all this available in preparing for the ACT test document, but be aware of what they are, what these are. Next, test or section specific tests. The ACT itself is different from other tests. Even the nearest competitor, the SAT, has different sections. The SAT doesn't have a science section. We have a separate science section. So it doesn't have a writing section. We have that optional writing section. Be aware of the test itself and take the opportunity, whether you're going to be doing it online, where you can get a free, and we'll talk about that free experience anyone can access for free in a second, or whether you want to just see what the test looks like. Again, the 2023 Preparing for the ACT Test document has an exact replica of a test. Now that test is what we call, it's been withdrawn. It was used. There are test takers that took that one, but you will never see that test again. But it does allow you to understand exactly how it's laid out, exactly the sections you should be reading, and exactly how it works for you. So that's some general tips around test taking and some great available tools. Now, more in detail, what free tools does ACT make available to you as a learner or you as a champion of a learner? First of all, again, using Google or whatever your favorite search engine is, you can simply put in ACT free test prep, and that will take you, not the paid for links. They send you to some of the not free tools, but the first link you come across in the section will bring you to ACT. So what do we make official? Well, first of all, we have a free practice test and study guide as part of that document I've mentioned a few times, Preparing for the ACT. So the Preparing for the ACT test has a study guide as well as a full paper for all sections. Now you may want, it's great having that, but you may want to actually score an attempt for free. To do that, we would invite you to register on My ACT, which is free. And just a call out here that if you are going to be taking the ACT and you would like your scores to be sent to colleges so they can send information to you, it's important to opt in when you register to the EOS program. That's right at the start of registration. When you register for free, this doesn't mean you have to pay for a test. You register on My ACT and just join the program. You will be able to access a tool where you can take a free ACT test, again, in all of the sections, and you can take a little bit more time. Although the sections are timed, you may want to take a little bit more time at this first free practice attempt. And it will then score that for you and tell you where you got it wrong or right. So it can be incredibly powerful. You can then see if there's some areas you may want to do a little bit more studying. using some of the resources we're going to talk about today, or your own resources, and really understand how you're getting on. You can then use that tool multiple times. But remember, it's the same test. So be careful when you're testing too often on the same one. Next, we've partnered with a number of our partners, including Kaplan, to offer a number of free online test prep and events. Again, if you just go into your preferred search engine and write ACT free test prep, it will take you to a number of hosted videos, as well as they enable you to sign up for some free classes that we offer together with Kaplan. There is an opportunity to buy more after that, but the first instance, those first free classes are free and available to all. The videos also are really helpful, and there's 4 example videos of some of the 4 areas where people struggle most, calculus and other areas, which really are well worth watching and can really help you understand and prepare for those events. So again, last one, ACT, preparing for the ACT test, the best document you can find. Register on My ACT. Not only go through the interest inventory to see which major best matches your desires and your existing aptitude, and also will allow you to pick up some of these free tools and understand what you need to do. You don't need a credit card at this point, don't need to spend any money. All you need is an email address to be able to register for that. I'm now going to just spend a couple of minutes, we have about 12 minutes left, so I'm going to maybe spend 3 or 4 of those minutes, maybe a couple more, talking about some of the paid tools that we offer. As I said, really importantly here, the official ACT self-paced course powered by Kaplan, which is in the middle of this slide that I'm showing right now, is available, and a code for that is given away to every fee waiver student. So if you are eligible for the fee waiver program, and again, you can check on our website or work with your school counselor, you will get free access to this tool. If you're not, you can still access this tool, but there is a charge for that as you're not a fee waiver program. The first thing I want to talk about is the official ACT prep guide. 22-23 is the current edition, available from all good bookstores, online and face-to-face, be it Amazon, be it Barnes & Noble, or wherever you choose to buy your books. And we call this the OG. The official guide, but also the OG. And it's been around for a number of years. Includes a huge number of practice questions, some practice forms, and also access. If you buy a new copy, you will get access to a digital tool which allows you to practice a number of different ACTs and really see how you get on with those. For the second time this year, we've published some subject guides. So it could be that you're just struggling a little bit with one of the subjects, the sub-subjects. So remembering English, math, reading, and science. So we actually publish those as additional content, which you can buy separately. And again, there's all sorts of purchase options for these, and even available as ebooks through the standard ebook readers. And again, I think we all know how to publish books, how to buy books, so I'm not going to go into that. Next, I'm just going to quickly talk about the 3 Kaplan products. First of all is the official ACT self-paced course powered by Kaplan. This is incredibly powerful and given away free to 24% of our national test takers. And this really is a self-paced, working at your own rate, and enables you to identify areas of shortcoming that you want to work on, fully mobile engaged, and really what you're what is given to you when you purchase this or a given part of the fee waiver program is access for 12 months and enables you really to use that tool continuously during that time. If you feel you want a little bit more information about this or any of the tools, again, if you go into our website, there's some great information there. I mentioned earlier that we offer a series of free events and free classes online through our partners at Kaplan. If those have worked for you and you like the free classes, there is a whole session or number of series of events that you can take on that is charged for after that. And again, that's available through our website or through Kaplan's website. And really that goes on and brings you together as a class, and is a live online class with a live amazing expert tutors that will take you through each of the sections, each of the areas, and take you through a learning experience to get there. Finally, at the highest level is official ACT tutoring. And this is online, live, one-on-one tutoring, which is again powered by Kaplan. All of these are available, more information on our website, and all of these, more information available on Kaplan. The last thing I'm going to talk about is how a lot of people support themselves through the ACT, the SAT, or other large assessments that they have in their lives. Many professions have an assessment, the LSAT if you're going to law school, the various medical exams if you're going through a board, the boards for legal areas, but even down to many states require assessments for some of the skilled trades that we have. And again, many people find it useful to prepare themselves for that. There is a National Test Prep Association. They are a great association of professionals that they're educators. They're educators that help people, and they will help you find a tutor in your area. We don't at this time officially recognize any tutors, nor do we say that a tutor is bad or good. What we would say, like finding any kind of service professional, is look at online reviews, look at the claims that they are making, and somebody who can claim that they can guarantee you a full score or anything else is dubious at best. But look at what they're doing, look at how they can help you, and really understand what they are offering versus what you are after. My last plug for today before I leave you, and we're going to finish about four or 5 minutes earlier than planned, just to give you a chance to grab a break and grab a glass of water if you're doing a number of these sessions, is first and foremost, I would recommend 2 free steps to start preparing you for your ACT journey. The first is register on My ACT. Have your student go through that interest inventory and really understand whether their destination that they have in mind is achievable and is the best one for them. Secondly, download all of the free opportunities and test prep materials that we offer, including the 2023 Preparing for the ACT Test. It's 70 pages, which is a pretty hefty document, but it is full of information, including that practice test, that will really, really help students prepare themselves for the ACT and be ready. And really that document is designed as the first step for the students to get ready, not only for college, but their journey into the career. This is why our educational journey is there. The information intended is really for students to do their best on the ACT and gain admission to a college or university of their choice that is aligned with the journey that they've chosen themselves. Including that document, helpful hints and test-taking strategies, a complete practice test for the ACT with what we call retired questions from earlier tests given on previous test dates. It also features a practice writing test and a sample answer document to really understand how the best answers are delivered in that writing test. Obviously, it has an answer key and self-scoring instructions, so you can understand what score you'd have got on that practice test and what individual subject score and composite score that would have led to. So we'd invite you to please feel free to use those 2 tools, My ACT, Preparing for the ACT Test. And as always, use our website and other resources from ACT as a resource, and we'll be here to help you. My last thing I'm going to say is, please, if you think you qualify for the fee waiver program, please apply, talk to your school counsellor, and we will more than happily not only support you through that process, but also get you everything that will help you succeed in the ACT. My final thing to say then is thank you for listening. I will give you a few minutes back to grab a glass of water or anything else you want to do. Thank you again for joining us today. And thank you for helping us achieve our mission and success in equity in education. We cannot do it without great champions, without great students and great educators. So thank you. And with your help, we'll continue to transform the world of learning. Have a wonderful weekend. And thanks very much for listening. Goodbye.